Pisces, welcome to your 2026 AstroHouse Deep Dive reading. So the way this is structured, all along the top row, which is just out of frame for you, are the 12 houses in astrology. And so I'm doing a tarot reading for each of the individual houses. I do have a row of the signs that coordinate back, starting with Pisces in your first house. Now, for this reading, Pisces first house, usually rising sign, but this is also applicable for your sun, your moon, your Venus, stellium, whatever you normally listen to from a tarot standpoint, because the tarot reading itself is going to relate back to the house and the topics covered by that house. So with that, let's start. So the first house here, it's known as the house of self. So it's your personality, your self-expression, your conscious self, your approach to life, attitude, viewpoint, energy, assertiveness, ego, physical presentation, vitality, body, first impression, outward behavior, how you see the world, and how the world sees you. And so for you, it's in the sign of Pisces. And so Pisces is intuitive, compassionate, generous, creative, gentle, imaginative, selfless, influential, romantic, and emotional. And the one thing that I'm going to point out here, because we're in the Pisces Virgo eclipse season, so all throughout 2025 and then in 2026 until July 26, 2026, we have the North Node sitting here in your sign. And so the North Node is focused on future, purpose, growth, potential, karmic path, destiny, what you need to learn and where you're going. Now, on July 26, it is going to change signs. And so it's going to go from North Node in Pisces to the North Node in Aquarius. So it's going to go from your first house, your physical self, into the 12th house here. And so we'll talk about that, but that's really your inner self. And so let's focus on the first house here and get your 2026 overall energy. So I'm getting the Devil energy, the Capricorn limitations and restrictions. I'm getting Judgment showing up here. So the Judgment, it's a resurrection, a rebirth energy. And I also get the Hermit, Virgo, coming through. This actually feels a lot like you're aware of some sort of pattern, that you're doing the work in order to step into this judgment, that kind of Phoenix rising. So closing out a transformation cycle and really doing the work, doing the healing, the internal reflection around maybe ways that you've held yourself back or anything else here from a limitation standpoint that has affected your physical movement, your physical progress forward, because that's the energy I'm picking up here. Let's say the obstacles and challenges, because it feels a lot like a release is going to happen here early in the year, but let's see what shows up. Let's get the obstacles and challenges. Hierophant, Taurus energy. So we actually have all the earth signs showing up here in this reading. This feels like it's something that's very ingrained within you, connected to your belief systems, something that you've learned maybe over time or even connected to childhood. And so whatever the cycle is, whatever this pattern is, if it's connected to an old behavior, an old pattern that has been around for a long period of time, like a belief system that just doesn't work for you anymore, this has been taking time to kind of break down and just create something new. And so it's showing up here as an obstacle because it feels like it's connected to a traditional belief system, and now things are shifting. I'm getting the Ace of Swords showing up here, and the Ace of Swords, it's clarity and it's release. King of Wands, it's taking action. It's letting go of the Devil energy. It's making a concerted effort to embrace the change, recognize what needs to kind of go from an old belief standpoint to make space for something new here. So let's get the advice for your first house. So the Three of Swords here, so this is actually coming through as some sort of communication, but this is really about healing. So you might find yourself in a position to talk about your healing journey or your healing process as a way to kind of help yourself move through it all. Take it as it resonates for you. This is really identifying the wound itself. It's identifying what created the behavior to start with, and maybe how this kind of limiting thought process has held you back from achieving some sort of result, because this is about healing. Justice, so focus here on balance, creating balance in your life. Nine of Swords, so if there is any stress or fear, the stress or fear feels around change. There's something about the way that this is all unfolding for you. The awareness, the need for change, maybe any kind of hesitation around change, or just a fear around, well, what happens if I let go of this belief? What happens if everything here shifts in front of me? What kind of change does that mean for me going forward? Because you're used to things being a certain way. When it comes to your belief systems, no matter how expansive or limiting they are, you already know them. You're already comfortable with them. And this here is a change. But what the universe is saying here, it's about stepping into your strength and power with the Judgment card, and it's about finding balance here with the Justice card. So really just step into that power here. We'll see how that plays out. What I have noticed in doing all of these readings is that there are kind of some underlying themes that show up, and they'll show up kind of throughout the reading. So let's dive into the second house. And so the second house is known as the house of values. So it's money, finances, income, possessions, security, investments, material desires, savings, expenses, movable property, debt management, assets, financial responsibility, resources, physical environment, self-worth. So in the house of values, it's more than just money. It's anything here that you value, including yourself. It's how you relate to and feel about the material world, what you value and why. And so this is the second house card. And it's in the sign of Aries. And Aries is assertive, determined, ambitious, spontaneous, brave, curious, independent, resourceful, competitive, and a leader. And so let's get your second house reading for 2026. What's the overall energy here for your second house? So I'm getting the sun. The sun is illuminating what you love and value. This actually feels like it's an opportunity opening up for you. Hierophant. So the Hierophant showing up here again. And so it is connected to values. That's exactly what this is. It's a belief system or some sort of value system. Something is being highlighted for you here. Six of Cups, a card of nostalgia, but it's also that childhood energy again. So the illumination, whatever this is, because I'm getting something highlighted around your happiness. So it's about you opening up to exploring your happiness or achieving some sort of happiness, rebalancing something within yourself. Let's get the obstacles and challenges here and see what else we get. So I'm getting Temperance here, Sagittarius energy. This is focused on balance. It's emotional balance. So something here is changing for you as it relates to what you value, how you kind of evaluate what matters to you. And so the balance here happens on the other side of the change. And so once the change completes, you're in this balanced energy. Ace of Cups, which allows for something new to unfold here, because the Ace of Cups is about you exploring something, and creating the opportunity is only going to happen through some sort of modification to your belief system or your value system. Chariot, Cancer energy, success and victory. And so it's about moving forward, making progress here. Whatever's being highlighted to you, it feels like it's highlighting it in a way that allows you to grow through it, allows you to not kind of look at it as something painful, but more as some sort of modification that's necessary for your personal growth. So let's get the advice here for your second house. Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles here is a card of generosity. This is about you opening yourself up. It's finding the balance and then sharing what additional you have with other people. So if it's connected to something you value here, this actually feels like it's a mindset shift, and it's shifting into a growth mentality. The Emperor. So the Emperor is focusing here on your stability. Okay. And then I'm getting the strength card at Leo energy. Whatever this is that's coming through in your first house and your second house, this kind of reevaluation of just what matters the most to you, what you consider to be the most important thing or people, whatever it is in your life. This modification feels like it's a kind of a rewiring of your brain, a rewiring to get you to prioritize the most significant people, the situations, and just make that where you spend your time and effort. You're letting go of something here, but I'm getting it in kind of a roundabout way. Whatever the shift is, it's shifting into the more positive, more expansive mindset. So I'm not getting directly what it is that you're letting go of, at least not yet. But there's definitely a shift here that I'm picking up on. And so the next house is the third house, and it's known as the house of communication. So it is your conscious mind, your correspondence, your expression, your written and verbal language, ideas, data processing, early education, learning, community, siblings, neighbors, technology, transportation, short journeys, how you think, process, perceive, and share information. And so this is the third house card. And it's in the sign of Taurus here. And so Taurus is stable, hardworking, reliable, patient, trustworthy, practical, sensual, generous, and loyal. And so let's get your overall third house for 2026. Temperance, Sagittarius energy, all things in moderation. This is the balance that you're looking for. So because this is the house of communication, but also how you understand things. And so here it feels like whatever the transformation is that I'm picking up early on, a change in your belief system, whatever this modification is, here it tells me things are balancing out. Things are going to work in your favor here. King of Cups, this is emotional growth. This is your card coming through. It feels like whatever this is, you're open to it. You're open to this change in your belief system if it's meant to allow for growth and prosperity and for you to prioritize what really matters to you. And it feels like you are shifting into this mindset. You're embracing this. I am getting the Tower here. The Tower is a breakthrough. So the Tower shows up when something here is kind of in that stuck energy. That's exactly what this feels like, is that you're trying to make progress, but you almost feel like, I just need help. I need to figure out what is it that I'm missing? What is it that I need to know in order to be able to move forward? That's the Tower energy here. The Tower is going to provide some sort of breakthrough. It does feel like it's knowledge coming through to you or a breakthrough in your understanding. So an old system of beliefs or an old value system that needs to be modified here, and maybe understanding how it's held you back or what change is necessary in order for you to move beyond it, in order for you to allow growth and expansion to take place. But this is all working in your favor because it feels like the knowledge is bringing the personal growth and the balance that you're looking for. So what are the obstacles and challenges here for your third house? Yeah, okay, I'm not surprised. So I'm getting the Nine of Wands here. So the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. And this would indicate any kind of block or barrier to kind of making some sort of change. That would be an obstacle to actually finding the balance, growing through something. Seven of Wands, the Seven of Wands is about you advocating for yourself. So it's about pushing through your own internal barriers. And then we've got the Devil showing up here again. And so the Devil, that Capricorn energy of limitation and restriction. And so it's about breaking patterns. It's breaking a cycle. It's allowing yourself to, it's understanding something here connected to either the way that you grew up or something that you've believed for a long period of time. And now you're switching into this mindset of opening yourself up. And it feels like whatever this limiting behavior or belief system is, you are pushing through, you're identifying it, pushing through, tearing down your own barriers. There's something about a protective measure that I'm picking up as well. So there's something about the way that things are structured in your life that it was to prevent yourself from getting hurt, that you were kind of shielding yourself from something, but you were also shielding yourself from progress. The Tower is going to come through and assist you here. Be open to whatever the Tower is suggesting. So if it's removing something from your life, it's about understanding why it's removing that from your life. If it's about showing you what path you need to take moving forward, it's about showing you how to clear away any kind of limitations, restrictions, obstacles, anything in your path. So pay attention to whatever the Tower is doing here. What is the advice for your third house? So the Knight of Pentacles here. So the Knight of Pentacles is that kind of student energy. It's about learning, planning for the future. It's figuring out what's going to be in your best interest as you move forward. This actually feels like it's connected to the Tower. Whatever the Tower is revealing to you, use that information to your benefit with the Knight of Pentacles. Plan for success, plan for growth, using a solid foundation. I have the World showing up here. It's whatever is leaving your life, whatever is ending here, let it end, because it's the time and place for that no longer exists. You're meant to move forward. And then I get the Ace of Cups. So I'm getting follow your heart. This is about opening up to new opportunities, allowing yourself to really embrace happiness and really open up to more happiness in your life. And so the next house here is the fourth house of home and family. So this is your history, your ancestry, your parents, real estate, property, land, roots, family and cultural traditions, foundation, childhood, nurturing parent, physical and emotional concept of home, conditions in early and late life, and the atmosphere that shaped you. And so this is the fourth house. And it's in the sign of Gemini. Gemini is curious, communicative, agile, adaptable, intelligent, youthful, outgoing, creative, and perceptive. So let's get your overall fourth house for 2026. One more. So right away, the Fool is showing up here. So brand new start, new chapter. This is something that's going to be different than what you've experienced in the past. The Emperor is coming through. And so the Emperor is focused here on stability. Very clear decision to embrace something new here. So this could actually indicate maybe a move. You might be moving locations. Take it as it resonates for you. If there's something with the Emperor and the Fool that you're making a very clear choice and you're moving down a specific path. I'm getting the Knight of Wands. You're taking action based on whatever decision here that you're making. Three of Wands. There might be some delays connected to it, or you might be taking your time making that decision, or taking time between a decision and then action. But I do get the sense here that the Emperor is very clear on, I need to do something. Probably not going to be as noticeable because the eyes are very, very small on the Emperor. The Emperor is kind of giving the Fool the side eye, which really does indicate the Fool is the focus of the Emperor. The Emperor is looking for a new chapter, a new start here. And so that's what I'm picking up. The Emperor is determined to have some sort of new beginning. What are the obstacles and challenges here for the fourth house? Ten of Cups, long-term happiness. Two of Pentacles, balancing priorities. And the Death card, this is the one. So it's change and transformation. It actually feels like what you want to do is prioritize your happiness, your long-term happiness. This could indicate a marriage. Take it as it resonates. But it feels like here what you're looking for is a new beginning that leads to the Ten of Cups, that leads to happiness, something that you can balance and prioritize with that Two of Pentacles energy. But it requires some sort of change. Now, the change that comes from this card, as opposed to the Tower, This is a slow moving change. This is something that is meant to kind of help rewire you, make some modifications to the way that you're approaching things, really change you on a foundation level so that you're kind of rebuilding a base. And now you're able to grow and expand from that base. That's what the Death card here is meant to do. And it feels like when you're ready to let go or you're ready to embrace the new beginning, that's when everything starts to unfold. But I'm still picking up the delays. There might be some delay around taking action because I'm getting that a lot too. So let's get the advice here for your 4th house. The 6 of Swords wanted to show itself. Let's see if it does come out, because that could also indicate a move here. Page of Pentacles. So more planning for the future showing up from an advice standpoint. Whatever's happening here, whatever kind of new energy that you're shifting into, because you're definitely shifting into something new. This feels like what you're doing is you're being very mindful and methodical in your approach, that you're taking in all this information, using it to your benefit as you kind of figure out what your next steps need to be. When the Emperor makes up his mind, he's got his mind made up, but he's also very strategic. So this is Mars, the god of war. And so he has contingency plans. If plan A doesn't work, let me go to plan B. And it feels like that's the kind of energy that you're meant to embody during this time. It's not about acting impulsively. It's acting with a lot of kind of long-term vision for yourself, kind of moving in that direction with the Page of Pentacles, and then even earlier with the Knight of Pentacles. And then I get the Queen of Pentacles here. And so this is really about focusing on long-term success and stability. The Chariot, so Cancer energy, more success and victory. And so this actually is coming through as a move as well. So take it as it resonates. Not everybody's going to be moving in 2026, not everybody with a prominent Pisces energy, but you might find yourself in a position of wanting to move and maybe planning for some sort of move or some sort of modification around your home environment. Because then I also get the Tower here. And so the Tower is that breakthrough energy again. This here, again, as opposed to the Death card, this one is very quick. It's that lightning striking a building. It can happen at any time. It can be very devastating, or it can be not so devastating. It can be almost just a little bit of crumble. So take it as it resonates. Whatever the Tower's doing here, you're meant to understand what the Tower's doing and embrace whatever change it brings into your life, because these are changes that are acting in your best interest. Even if it is that kind of that Tower lightning striking and half the building crumbles, it's because that building was not built on a solid foundation. So whatever is leaving your life is not meant to be part of your future energy. So it's about the awareness and the understanding around all of that. And so the next house here is the 5th house, and it's known as the house of pleasure and fun. So it's passion, creativity, entertainment, recreation, athletics, fun, music, art, self-expression, dating, casual love affairs, so anything that doesn't lead to marriage, sex, flirtation, drama, theater, imagination, performing, playfulness, children, and fertility. And so this is the 5th house card. And it's in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is nurturing, loyal, supportive, intuitive, compassionate, resilient, domestic, empathetic, and protective. So let's get your overall 5th house for 2026. So I've got the moon showing up here. So I'm getting your emotions, which is what the moon rules. But it's also Cancer energy. There's something else with this, because the moon rules a sign of Cancer. There's something about your emotions and something coming up to the surface here. Some sort of suppressed emotion feels like it's coming up. 10 of Wands, something that you're meant to work through. This actually feels like it's part of the protective energy that I was picking up early on. 10 of Wands is a lot of burdens, a lot of responsibilities. So it feels like a heavy emotional weight that you've been carrying around. And here with the world, you're meant to shut this down. You're meant to close this out. Now, the fifth house relates to things that you just enjoy doing outside of work. So it really is that kind of broad spectrum of energy. The way this is coming through, whatever this emotional weight is that you're carrying around, that you're meant to close down, it's actually blocking some of the happiness and the fun that you want to experience in your life. You're not able to spend your free time in a way that is productive or fun, in that way that really just energizes you, restores, replenishes you in some capacity. This actually feels like it's a heavy emotional weight that you're carrying around. But with the world showing up here, this is something that it's run its course. Whatever this is, it's not meant to be part of your future energy. You are meant to work through this. Put down all of this heavy weight that you're carrying around with you. So let's get the obstacles and challenges here for your fifth house. Page of Wands, this is taking action, that kind of new beginning energy, that kind of youthful, inspired, let's do something about this. Knight of Cups, going after what you want. And the Eight of Wands, that very quick energy of moving forward. This actually feels like your overall energy is the block, and this is what you're meant to do. They almost feel reversed in a way. And it's really to highlight here that if you want to move forward, there's something here that you need to let go of. It's emotional weight that you're carrying around that is blocking you from being able to move in the direction of what you want. Pursue something here with the Knight of Cups that you really want to explore. What is the advice for you here in your fifth house? Judgment, resurrection, and rebirth. This is the ending and the new beginning, but this is the completion, closing out the cycle, really stepping into your strength and power here. Three of Wands, being patient with yourself. I'm also getting self-forgiveness here. So if that is connected to some of the weight that you're carrying around, like you're feeling very responsible for things in your life that maybe aren't your responsibility, this is really coming through as take the time that you need to kind of work through it all, including any level of forgiveness that you need to give to yourself. The sun. Now the sun is focused on the future. It's hope, it's optimism, it's illumination. It's about seeing everything that you need to see. Take the time, work through, identify all of this emotional weight so that you can release it and move forward, because you're meant to step into this judgment energy, because that's shown up here a couple of times in the reading. And I'm getting very strongly you kind of the phoenix rising, and that phoenix rising requires a release of the past, including all of this emotional weight that I'm picking up on. And so the next house here is the sixth house. And so it's the house of work and health, but it's really about your daily life, your daily routines. So it is your health, vitality, well-being, fitness, your diet, your hygiene, your habits, structure, schedule, duty, tasks, healing, volunteer and humanitarian work, employment, necessary work, service, pets, and small creatures. And so this is the sixth house card. And it's in the sign of Leo. And so Leo is charismatic, brave, ambitious, confident, enthusiastic, passionate, generous, protective, and a leader. And so we talked about the North Node moving July 26, 2026 from the sign of Pisces into Aquarius. We have the South Node will move at the same time. So the South Node is currently sitting in Virgo, affecting your seventh house, but it's going to move here into your house of daily life, your daily routines, this Leo energy on July 26th. And so the South Node is connected to the past, familiar, past lives, mastery, completion, stagnation, what you already know, and where you came from. And so let's get your overall sixth house for 2026. King of Wands, taking action here. Four of Cups. Now, this is the stagnation that can happen here with the South Node. The stagnation happens because you've mastered a cycle, and this is about, I'm not ready to move forward. I'm not ready to open up to new opportunities. But with the King of Wands showing up here, it actually feels like you are. It feels like you're ready to take some sort of action to really close out something from the past so that you're creating this new beginning for yourself. Because the Ten of Cups is coming through. And so the Ten of Cups is your long-term happiness. It's also a card of family and marriage. So take it as it resonates. But the action here is getting you out of your comfort zone, getting you out of a stuck energy so that you're able to move forward and embrace as much happiness as you want. And it's really about structuring your life in a way that allows for more happiness to come in. So let's get the obstacles and challenges here for your 6th house. So the Two of Cups here is union. So if another person is involved, it might not be so easy to make some adjustments in your daily life. Take it as it resonates. This is about alignment and acting from a place of balance. The moon here, so it's prioritizing your emotions, but it's coming to a point of, I feel good about moving forward. I feel like I have a stable foundation underneath me that I can grow and expand and really take the action that leads to the Ten of Cups here. Knight of Pentacles, and this is planning for success in the future. It's about kind of recognize when you're ready to take action and then acting. And so at any given point in time, if you're trying to stabilize, it's not going to be so easy to act. But this is really not coming through as a true obstacle. It's coming through as more of the awareness of the kind of phased approach to how all of this is playing out. It's the desire to make some sort of change, stabilizing, feeling like you have a solid foundation. And so then you're able to move forward and create the changes necessary in your daily life, your structure that allows for more happiness here. What is the advice for you in the 6th house? Justice, balance. Wheel of Fortune, focusing here on growth and prosperity. This actually almost reads like the timeline I was just talking about. It's finding balance and then opening yourself up to new opportunities. But it also feels like here, when you find that balance within yourself, the opportunities that are there, because the Wheel of Fortune indicates that they're already there. You just need to see them. You need to be ready to receive them. King of Cups, and this is you stepping into your strength and power. This is about grounding yourself emotionally, kind of stepping into your own maturity and saying, okay, I feel good about where I'm at. I recognize it's not perfect, but I'm good where I'm at. I'm very empathetic. I'm prioritizing my emotional needs, recognizing, and this is actually going back to the heavyweight that I was picking up in the 5th house. If there is a need for self-forgiveness, I'm getting that here again with the King of Cups. There's something about kind of making peace with whatever happened in the past and your role within whatever happened. Allowing yourself to say, you know what, I'm not perfect. I'm infallible. I'm just going to move forward. There's something here better on the horizon. I just need to be open to receive it. I need to kind of act from a balanced place, because that's really what you're being guided to do here in this situation, is find the balance and then act from that balanced place. It also helps you identify the opportunities that are in your best interest. And the next house here is the 7th house, and it's the house of partnerships. So it's all of your one-to-one relationships. So think of marriage, think of just all those significant relationships in your life, like best friends, close family members. Those individual relationships are part of this house. So it is marriages, romantic partners, business partnerships, peers, enemies, contracts, agreements, negotiation, divorce, lawsuits, courts, treaties, how you relate to others and why. And so this is the 7th house card. And it's in the sign of Virgo. And Virgo is analytical, responsible, organized, hardworking, logical, patient, reliable, faithful, and altruistic. And so all of 2025, and then again in 2026 until July 26, the South Node is going to be transiting the 7th house for you. So let's get your overall 7th house energy for 2026. Okay, so this is a house of marriage and those kind of key relationships. What I'm getting here with the 9 of Wands, so the 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. And so there's some sort of block around, could be divine counterparts. I've got the King and the Queen of Wands showing up here. This could also be your own internal integration that doesn't allow you to really open up to new people, new opportunities here. And so the sense that I'm picking up, because we do have the South Node transiting this house for you for the first 7 months of the year, this is something that you're already addressing. The 9 of Wands is not going to be new energy. This is something that you've been dealing with all throughout 2025. This is something that's been bubbling up, coming up to the surface for you to address. Let's get the obstacles and challenges here for the 7th house. And we'll see if I need to do any additional clarifying on that 9 of Wands. But let's get the obstacles and challenges. I'm not surprised. I'm getting the Death card. So this is the change and transformation, the endings and new beginnings. This is something that you're already working through. And so it's about continuing down the path. Keep making progress here, working through that wound. 7 of Swords indicates that you need to see something clearly, that you are missing some sort of piece of information around this wound, the protective energy that I'm picking up from the wound. It's an old wound, the way it's coming through, but you've structured things in such a way that doesn't really allow you to open up, not be able to take the kind of action that leads to happiness here. We've had a few marriage cards, specifically that 10 of Cups, that you want to work towards. And so if you've been emotionally blocked in some sort of way, the change here that is necessary for your own growth is around seeing things clearly. Because I get the Lovers showing up here as well. So the Lovers showing up in the house of those one-to-one significant relationships. Now, this is Gemini energy, and it is about the choices that you make. And so there's something here about the way that you've been choosing things historically versus the way that you want to choose things going forward so that you can achieve that happiness that you want, that you can drop your guard here and open yourself up. So let's get the advice for you here for the 7th house. Six of Wands, so success and victory. So moving forward. Magician, manifest what you want. And the 2 of Wands, you are going to see things clearly. This actually tells me that all the work that you're doing to kind of drop your guard, change the way that you're either viewing a situation so you're seeing it more accurately, or make whatever changes necessary to drop your guard, drop that barrier here with that 9 of Wands. It feels like you're going to achieve a lot of success. Not only are you going to be successful, you're going to see very clearly where you want to go with this 2 of Wands energy. The choice is going to be easy. It's going to be connected to any kind of goal or dream. You're going to want to work towards this. And what the universe is saying is keep chipping away at this wound and opening yourself up to new beginnings, opening up yourself to achieving success here, moving in the direction of what you want. This is an active choice. This is active effort. And so the next house here is the 8th house, and it's the house of death and transformation. So it is connected to death and birth, death and rebirth. It's change, it's spirituality, it's soul growth, regeneration, the occult, secrets, shadow side of the psyche, shared possessions, partners' finances, hidden desires, sexuality, intimacy, inheritance, wills, loans, and taxes. And so this is the 8th house card. And it's in the sign of Libra. Libra is charming, diplomatic, refined, balanced, fair, an objective listener, empathetic, understanding, and romantic. And so let's get your overall 8th house energy for 2026. So I'm getting the Emperor here, that Aries energy, that strong sense of self, a strong personality is what was coming through here. So whatever you decide to do here from a transformation standpoint, it's creating stability within yourself. This actually feels like you stepping into your own strength and power. I'm getting the 3 of Cups here. So I'm getting a lot of happiness here. So spending time with friends and family. I'm also getting the 6 of Cups. This actually feels like something is balancing out within you and you're prioritizing happiness here. You're moving in the direction of something that you really want. You're opening yourself up, but you're doing it from a very strong sense of self. This very stable foundation is being formed within you. So what are the obstacles and challenges here with your 8th house? Five of Wands, obstacles and challenges. The Star, it's about healing. It's kind of prioritizing working through whatever this is, whatever this wound is that's been showing up a few times in the reading so far, or even any kind of change in your belief system, because this is a house of transformation. It's about leaning into the healing process. It is about making whatever change is necessary. If you've resisted this in any way, that would be an obstacle that would be showing up that way. I'm also getting the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is putting down all of those heavy lifting, that heavy burdens and responsibilities that we got here in your 5th house. So all the emotional weight, the obstacles as a result of the emotional weight, that's really the obstacle to the change, the modification. So if you've resisted this in any way, it's about not resisting. It's dropping that kind of resistance energy so that you're able to kind of step into the Star, step into the healing process, fully embrace it, focusing on your stability and then moving forward. So what is the advice here for your 8th house? So I'm getting the 9 of Wands here, but I'm getting very clearly that you're meant to close out a cycle. So the 9 of Wands, that wounded warrior, is showing up here again. So keep working through all of this, because I'm also getting the 9 of Pentacles. So the 9 of Pentacles, very similar to this Emperor. This is you creating your own abundance. But these 2 9s indicate closing out a cycle. That something here is coming to its completion point and you're ready to move forward. So keep doing the work, because it feels like it's a confidence building exercise, healing, releasing any kind of change in your value system, opening up to more happiness here. It feels like because of the work that you're doing, you're stepping into this 9 of Pentacles, this growth mentality, the abundance, being able to do this for yourself. I'm also getting the Wheel of Fortune. And so the Wheel of Fortune is that positive turn of events. It's things moving in the right direction. So this is about opening up to new opportunities. It's letting go of the past and all the protective energy that didn't allow for any kind of progress moving forward. So keep leaning into the transformation, because it feels like there's something better on the other side of it. There's more opportunity for you to embrace on the other side of it. The next house here is the 9th house, and this is the house of philosophy and knowledge. And so it's focused on higher wisdom, study, the superconscious mind, religion, ideologies, belief systems, exploration, foreign destinations, travel, so anything by plane, global awareness, mental exploration, publishing, law, ethics and morals, large animals. And so this is the 9th house card. And it's in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is passionate, ambitious, perceptive, dominant, intense, sensual, emotional, mysterious, and introspective. So let's get your overall 9th house for 2026. Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups could be opening up to a new love opportunity. So take it as it resonates for you. I definitely got that as a message. This is union. This is alignment. It's also balance. Six of Pentacles, that card of generosity. This actually starts from a place of balance. You have everything that you need. You're now able to share with other people. That's connected to your growth here. King of Cups, there you are again coming through. And this is emotional growth and maturity. Something is coming into alignment. This actually feels like it's the progress that you're looking for. This is about you opening up to new opportunities, really embracing whatever change, whatever transformation this is, coming at it stronger on the other side. That King of Cups energy, I cannot state enough just how strong this energy is, because it feels like you're stepping into your own power. You're recognizing what you're able to accomplish and feeling this kind of motivation to move in that direction. And it looks like here you might have a union. So again, take that as it resonates. If not that, then it feels like you're open to exploring something here. You're coming at it from a balanced place. You're very emotionally grounded. Let's get the obstacles and challenges here, because I feel like there's something else that wants to come out. Three of Swords. So any kind of pain, any kind of heartbreak, that would be an obstacle to the balanced energy. Page of Cups. This is about you wanting to explore your feelings, really pursue something that matters to you. The Fool. And we've got that brand new beginning showing up. This is not an obstacle. Actually, none of these feel like obstacles. They just actually feel like timing. The Three of Swords, whatever this represents for you, whatever this heartache is, it's connected to the healing process. And on the other side of that healing, you're opening yourself up to new beginnings, following your heart, trusting yourself, acting from that King of Cups standpoint. And then I get the Empress showing up here. And so the Empress here, it's aligning with what you love and value. This actually feels like a goal that you have, something that you're working towards. And so it's not really an obstacle or a challenge here. It's also another card of union. So again, take that as it resonates for you. What's the advice here for your ninth house? Nine of Cups. So focusing here on your goals and dreams. This is about making whatever changes necessary to really open yourself up to emotional fulfillment. Knight of Cups, and then moving in that direction. Hermit, Virgo energy, a lot of internal reflection, a lot of healing. That's been a consistent message throughout this reading. And it looks like here, what you're really doing is you are going to step into this power, this strength. You are going to be able to close out an old cycle and really prioritize what matters. But what the universe is saying is it's not going to happen by accident. You're going to need to do the internal work in order to embrace your goals and dreams and align with them. It's about getting you ready to align. And so the next house here is the 10th house of career and public reputation, but it's actually more than that. So if you're retired or contemplating retirement, this house is still applicable to you because it is focused on legacy, success, your status, your achievements, respect, authority, professional goals, power, influence, public persona, recognition, destiny, contribution to society, fame, how we want to be remembered, and then typically associated with the dominant parent. So home is usually associated with mother, career usually associated with father. And so this is the 10th house card. And it's in the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is independent, honest, intelligent, free-spirited, caring, open-minded, adventurous, and a deep thinker. So let's get your overall 10th house for 2026. So I'm getting the Tower right away. This was the card that flew out. So that Tower energy, this sudden change, sudden awareness, the recognition that something here needs to shift. in order for you to be able to take whatever action is necessary, whatever kind of action relates back to career, public reputation, your legacy, your success. You want to be able to move in that direction. But right now, it feels like something is either slowing you down or it has you blocked. And so the Tower is here to remove the block. I'm getting the Empress here so that you can align with what you love and value. Could also be a partnership of some sort, because business partnerships are definitely part of this energy. And I'm with the Empress, it feels like another person might be involved, but take that as it resonates. That does not feel like an over kind of general part. It feels like a subset of people would be in that space. Obstacles and challenges here for the 10th house. Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is that card of abundance. It's the self-made energy. This actually feels like, again, it's connected to your transformation. Something is slowing you down. And when you're able to overcome whatever the obstacle is to any kind of success here, you'll see movement forward. Because I'm getting the Page of Cups and I'm also getting the Knight of Cups. And it feels like you want to go after something here. But right now it feels like you're climbing up a mountain, that you're not having the easiest time trying to get where you want to go, or it's not the kind of smooth ride that you thought it would be. There's a lot of obstacles showing up along the way, or it's just taking a lot longer to achieve a specific result. That's where the Tower really comes in to assist, because the Tower is going to remove anything that's blocking your path, or it's going to show you what action you need to take in order to remove the blocks yourself. And so it's being open to the information coming towards you, or the removal of whatever this is. So be open to it, because it feels like then you're going to be able to make progress towards a goal you have, align with something here that you want. What is the advice here for the 10th house? So the Seven of Wands is coming through. And so it's that energy of standing up and fighting for what's in your best interest. So it's about pushing through to this, to the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups, long-term happiness. So any kind of goals that you have set for yourself, legacy type of goals, career-related goals, any kind of achievements that you want to accomplish. So it's about kind of pushing through your own internal blocks, your own internal barriers, so that you open yourself up to this. King of Wands, it's about taking action. This is really whatever's already unfolding for you, because I am already picking up a transformation here in 2025. It's about carrying that forward into 2026. It's not about kind of stepping away from it altogether. This is about stay the course. In fact, put as much effort as you can against it, because it feels like the universe is going to help you along the way by either giving you the information or removing it. And so there, it feels like you're free to go after this. It'll be much easier when the Tower intervenes. Now, it won't be comfortable when it intervenes, because that's what the Tower does. It's that sudden shock out of nowhere. So be open to whatever the Tower is trying to deliver, whatever message is being conveyed to you through the Tower energy, whether it's the removal, so you recognize this doesn't belong, I don't want to reintroduce this, or it's actual information to kind of remove the blocks yourself. Be open to whatever this is. Take in that lesson. And the next house here is the 11th house. And so it's the house of friendship. And think of your tribe. It's the group of friends that you have. It's not the individual relationships. That's actually 7th house energy. This is about you interacting with your community, your group of people. And so the 11th house is community, altruism, social groups, organizations, colleagues, networking, earned wealth, ideals, humanitarian causes, philanthropy, individual and societal aspirations, hopes, wishes, and good fortune. And so this is the 11th house card. And it's in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is ambitious, strategic, disciplined, confident, practical, persistent, humorous, wise, strong, and successful. So let's get your overall 11th house energy for 2026. Hierophant. So Taurus energy, so this is very balanced. This is also connected to union, alignment. The Hermit energy, so that Virgo of internal reflection and healing, it actually feels like something is coming into alignment here, even as it relates to your group of friends or your community around you. Something here, because I'm getting like the word transcendence, something here, it's the Death card. The Death card, that Scorpio energy of endings and new beginnings, it feels like you have a new opportunity showing up, but it's the way that you're showing up here. It's connected to your transformation. You're going to be showing up differently in the group of your friends or your community. Something here is going to balance out, but it requires you completing the process, completing the transformation. That's a consistent message here. So let's get your obstacles or challenges in the 11th house. Okay. So the devil is showing up here again. So whatever that kind of limiting behavior was that we picked up earlier in the reading, whatever this was, it was affecting your friendships as well. It was affecting the way that you interact with people at large, your group of friends, your community. I'm getting the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is needing to see clarity around how much the devil has affected you, how it's impacting the way that you interact with other people. Seven of Wands, and then fighting through it. And so it's not so much an obstacle as more of the transformation. And then on the other side of the transformation is something coming into alignment, things balancing out. The work that you do leads to the transformation of the Death card, allows for some sort of balance or some sort of union, like a strong bond between you and your community or strengthening of those connections. So what is the advice here for your 11th house? King of Wands. So the King of Wands is taking action. Queen of Cups, focusing here, prioritizing your emotional well-being. It's the healing process. And then the Sun, it's really taking a look at everything. It's really understanding the devil, the full impact that the devil has had over your entire life. And it's making the necessary changes here, but it's prioritizing your well-being. It's opening you up to new opportunities, more happiness in your life. I feel like that's been a very consistent message. So the last house here is the 12th house, and it's known as the house of transcendence, and it's really all things hidden. So it's your hidden self, the unseen, subconscious, unconscious, escape, fantasy, rest, dreams, sleep, addictions, self-destruction, limitations, detachment, confinement, hospitals, brothels, secrets, spiritual experiences, psychic abilities, temples, meditation, karmic debt, intuition, freedom, and healing. And so it's in the sign of Aquarius here. And so Aquarius is innovative, artistic, individualistic, compassionate, visionary, humanitarian, eclectic, courageous, and optimistic. And so we talked about the nodes changing signs. So right away, first house, Pisces, that's where the North Node is currently sitting. July 26, 2026, the nodes will change signs. And now the North Node is going to move into this house of the unseen, your hidden self, your internal self, you away from the rest of the world. And so the North Node here, as a reminder, it's future, it's purpose, it's growth, it's your potential, karmic path, destiny, what you need to learn, and where you're going. And so let's get your overall 12th house for 2026. So the 10 of Pentacles here, it's a marriage card. So take that as it resonates, but this is long-term success. It's building the kind of life that you want. And I get the Death card showing up with it. So the transformation, it feels like it's coming to a close with the World card here. So this tells me that you're doing all of the internal work, that you're opening yourself up to new opportunities. And with the release of the old, the release of whatever this change is, the transformation is, it's stepping into that Phoenix energy, that Phoenix rising, and saying, okay, 10 of Pentacles, I need to work towards this. This is the new opportunity that's opening up, the one where you want to build the kind of life that you want to live. And so this is you away from the rest of the world. So this is you focusing, doing the work, closing out the old, opening up to the new. Any other obstacles or challenges? So the Five of Swords showing up here in reverse. Now the Five of Swords is, I want to win, and it doesn't matter how I win, but it's showing up here in reverse. So you might be resisting resolving this internal conflict, doing the work, and closing out the old cycle here. The Moon, it's your emotions. King of Cups, your emotional growth and maturity. This is your card again. And then I get the Justice showing up here, that Libra energy of balance. The way that this is coming through, this feels like the choice is always yours, and it's really being reflected here in the cards. You can choose to close out the old cycle and embrace the new, or you can choose not to. It's always going to be up to you. But if you choose to open yourself up, you're going to have to dig deep within your own psyche. The Moon indicates the depths of your emotions. It's connected to your emotions, but it feels like you're going to need to go in deep and really identify what this is, because it has shown up in so many of the houses here that it's really affecting more areas of your life, and maybe even deeper than you would have imagined. And so it's going to require a lot of effort for you to make this change, make this foundation change to yourself. You're rebuilding your stability here. That's exactly what you're doing in 2026. It's you're letting go of the old, embracing the new, but you're creating this kind of very solid new foundation for yourself. So what is the advice here for your 12th house? Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords, rest, recover, heal, the healing process itself. Two of Pentacles, make that a priority. Focus here on what really matters. Let go of everything else. Queen of Pentacles, focus here on your stability, your long-term success. And so the universe is really encouraging you to do the work, really close out the old cycle, fully embrace the new, move towards this, and really establish the kind of life that you want with that 10 of Pentacles energy. So I'm going to put all that to the side, and I'm going to pull any last messages for you. So any last messages here for Pisces for 2026? So I'm getting the Star, that Aquarius energy focused on your goals and dreams. It's also the healing process here. And I get the King of Cups. The King of Cups, again, you're coming through, and this is your emotional growth. This is about you closing out the process, feeling stronger, more confident, more grounded in yourself emotionally. And then I get the Nine of Swords. So any kind of fears that you have, I don't feel like these are going to hold you back. If you had a fear of really opening yourself up to happiness or kind of building out the life that you want to live, it feels like you're going to conquer those fears here in 2026, just because of how much this transformation was showing up in all of the houses and the way it was affecting you holistically. It feels like this is a change that you want to make because you want to be happy. You want to open yourself up to more happiness here. So you're going to do the work. I definitely feel that, but again, it's completely up to you. Free will is always a thing. You can make different choices and choose not to do the work. Again, up to you. But Pisces, this is your 2026 reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.